Good morning. My name is Sterling Connolly Chu. Welcome to Second Growth Homes. Today, we're inside a 16 by 20 A cabin that we are finishing the completion of. The rest of this build series is all on this YouTube channel, and I'll link that playlist below. Today's job is to install the second gable end wall, just like you see behind me. So these are the walls at the ends of your A-frame, both behind me and in front of me here, which you'll see in a minute. I did this wall already, and I figured this will kind of be cool because you can take a look at this, see what we're building, and then we'll spin the camera around and we'll put the other wall in. So at this stage, we got our foundation up, we got all the A-frames erected, we sheeted the floor and both sides of the roof with tongue and groove, and we installed our underlayment and our beautiful standing seam metal roofing. I just framed this wall and sheeted it behind me, and in the next couple of videos we're going to finish the end walls, install the windows, the door, and then we're going to come back inside and finish this whole interior out here. And that's all going to happen right here on Second Growth Homes. So please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons below to come along with us for this whole build. We're going to be building a number of these cabins after this one, so it'll really be a good lesson on how to do this. And you can actually buy this kit for this exact cabin and the same quality of timber you see here directly from me by clicking on the links below as well. So I'll go ahead and zoom in here and I'll show you the joints about how we frame these end walls. This is the front of the cabin. This one's got a door in the middle and two windows. The wall behind me just has one nice size square window right in the middle of it and no door. You can configure these end walls in any way you want. You can put in the glass that, like the whole end wall could be glass besides the timber with the angled glass, which is really, really cool. The reason that I don't do that on our standard A cabins is, one, it's a big cost to order those kind of custom windows. And then number two is, when I watched all the videos all over the internet, all over YouTube, learning about A-frame cabins and cabin kits, the number one issue that people had was problems with these fancy triangle windows leaking and having to do warranty work on them. And they're usually these big hard windows to replace. That was really the number one issue, and it made their kits kind of expensive. So for Second Growth Homes cabins, we really like to stick with these very standard window sizes. You can go to any home improvement store like Home Depot or Lowe's or any window manufacturer that there is, and you can just get new windows even right off the shelf. These windows come off the shelf at Home Depot here in Juneau, Alaska. So you can customize these end walls as much as you want, but I really recommend trying to stick with a simple layout like this. So if you ever do have any problems with those windows, they're easy to replace and they're more of a standard window you're not going to likely have problems with at all. So I'll go ahead and show you these joints here and let's get started. So here you can see where the top of the stud meets the rafter. This is a really nice joint, in my opinion. I think it looks great. It's strong, pretty simple to do. It's really cool. The bottoms of the rafters just land square on the floor. Then they're fastened up through the floor with these really long timber lock screws. The same fasteners you see us use throughout the whole cabin. This wall is framed with 3x6, just like the roof rafters, the A-frames. And this is just a really husky, strong wall. And then it's sheeted on the outside of that tongue and groove. Really a nice job. So we're going to go ahead and cut these joints today. If you buy a kit from us, these joints will be cut, and you'll just get to set these pieces in place and fasten them. So the whole A-cabin kit can basically be built just with a tape measure, an impact driver, and these timber lock screws that are supplied with the kit. So you just take this piece, set it in place, put in the 4 screws, and you're done. Take the next piece of wood, put it in place, fasten it, put the next piece of wood in place, 4 screws, and you're done. You basically just keep repeating that until you're done with the cabin. This one we're cutting them in place just so I can fine tune the kit, get everything perfect. So we're gonna actually cut these joints today, like you see right here on this channel. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we are at the wall. We're going to frame and sheet here today. And this wall is really simple. It just has one 3 foot by 3 foot window centered in it right behind me. And in this cabin, the reason it just has this one window is that there's a bed here, a big bed, a window, and then there'll be a small loft above me and a couple cabinets and things on this wall that kind of fill it all up. So just that one window, really simple. We found the center of the wall. The A cabin's exactly 16 feet wide on the frame, tip to tip, really nice. And it's actually exactly 16 feet from tip to tip on both sides of the roof. It's really nice. So we found the center. Our window is 35.5 inches by 35.5 inches. So the rough opening, the opening for the window, is 36 inches by 36 inches. So we measured 1 foot 6 inches over on each side of that line, and now we need to run up our two studs, two big 3x6 studs to start this wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of this tongue groove. I'm just using this as a board. You could use a 2x4 or anything else. And I'm going to hold it up here like this. We'll put the bottom right on our line, and then I'll hold the level on the side of the board, line it up perfectly, and then we can mark it, and that'll give us our measurements, and we'll lift our angles to do that half lap joint at the top here. So let me grab my impact gun, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put up our board to find the measurement of this nice stud here on the side of the window. Okay, so tack it in place. See, I'll drop it a little bit. So this is the same procedure that I use for a gable end wall in a normal house. So if this was just a normal stud framed house, and whether we were using roof trusses or what, we get our roof on, and then we come back and we'd frame in these gable end walls. So it'd be the same method. We'd measure across and we'd lay out where our studs are in the gable end wall, and then we need to use a board to measure straight up, this board at the level, to get the length of the stud, and then you can get the angle off this same board and use that same angle on every single stud on the gable end walls. So look at this, perfectly level. So two things we got to do here are we need to get a measurement for this edge of the stud. This will be the long edge, and then we need to get the angle for where this stud meets the rafter. I didn't save it from the other side, and we'll get that angle, and then I'll show you how to lay out that half lap joint here. So we'll just double check. We got a 3-foot window right here. Perfectly centered. It's going to be up pretty high, about this tall. It looks great. So let's go ahead and we'll get these 2 in, and then we'll lay out the top and bottom of that window. So this is just a sliding T-bevel. This is a digital one. You don't need a digital one. Last time I just used a board for the other side, but let's, yeah, the digital part doesn't work anyway. So, this is actually the side of the stud right here, coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this T-bevel on here like this, okay? Slide it up there until I get that angle. Tighten it up. I'll take a look over here. Just kind of double check that it looks good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect. Perfect. One more double check here. Yep. Okay, so then you just got to be really careful not to bump this. So that's the only angle that we need for this. Pretty easy. Let's get the measurement here. Drop your tape down. Like I said, this is how to do it for an A-frame cabin. It's also how to build any gable end wall. This is how I do it. There's lots of other ways to do this, like using math and stuff, but I'm a shipwright, boat builder first, so this is like I like to do stuff. Just lift the angles. 114 3/4. 114. Okay. So then I like to come down, say okay. Let's write 114 3/4 right on the piece of wood that we are working with here. 114 3/4. So let me zoom you down. Okay. Let's go ahead and write down 114 3/4 on here. Like I said, if you buy the kit from us, these half flap joints will be done for you. But if you want to do this for yourself, here's one way to do this. So, this timber actually has a bit of, just a little bit of ugliness on like the last foot. This looks like a tiny little bit of defect. So, oh yeah, it ends right here. So we just need to be sure we cut that off here today. So, we got one side of these 3x6s that are plain, smooth, and there's one side that's rough. So there's one side of these that are smooth, one side are rough. We're going to keep that side on the inside of our wall. So the first thing we're going to do here is start with the angle. So that board goes up to be out. We'll do this stud first. Okay. Okay. And then the long point here is where we're going to measure 114 3/4. just remembered, I think I forgot my square, but that's okay. We'll use a little block of wood here. So here's the start to our half lap joint here. So that cut is going to meet up under the rafter, and this basically is going to come down halfway, and it's going to come up like this, come down, and that's our cut here today. So let's go ahead and we'll just lay that out here real quick. Thickness of the boards is 2 7/8. So from the top, we're going to measure down 2 7/8, like that, like that, and we'll run that line over. Okay, I want to put an X on the part that's going to get cut away. So this part of it is going to be the part that's going to get cut out and go away, and this part is going to be what's saved. So we always put an X on the sides of the wood that's going to be removed from the joint. Then you leave this clean, then you know we're always going to cut on the side of the line with the X. I'm going to go ahead and double check this measurement real quick, how far this lap goes, and we can finish this off here. So for whatever reason, this is exactly 12 inches. That's pretty easy. Let's go ahead, extend our line a little farther here. Okay. Perfect. Inches exactly. Huh. Okay, so it comes over there, and then comes square down like this. Okay, X, X, and then it goes like, the cut goes like this across the bottom. So we just need to throw our bevel set on here on the bottom like this. I'm not even going to flip it over, I'm just going to go for it. Okay? And that'll do it. So you want to be really careful not to bump your bevel set, and then as soon as you can, you want to make a line on your first board, and then you can always go back and just check it, make sure that you didn't bump your bevel set as you're going. You know, kind of check it at least every cut. Yeah, at least. So now we just need to make this cut. The first cut, so we are on generator power out here today, and regretfully, my 60-volt DeWalt skill saw is out in 10. That's okay, this is a really nice saw. Kia. Okay, so we cut full depth. Yep, then we'll need to finish the last bit with the handsaw. Well, let's go ahead and make this cut straight across the top. Yes. almost dropped out of the window. Let's move those windows. Holy cow. Awesome. That looks good. Well, we got a handsaw. Don't underestimate handsaws. You can buy these new handsaws, like this DeWalt one is great, and when they're brand new and sharp, or if you learn how to sharpen them, you can do all of this just with the handsaw. It's amazing. You really are underrated. Good handsaw. Okay. Those joints, you know, it takes me about 10 minutes to lay out cut that joint. That's about it. So when we're selling these kits, I'm planning more like 20 or 30 minutes per joint because there's a little bit more involved. You gotta forklift the timber over there. You gotta pack it up after you're done. But eventually, you can cut any joint like this, 15, 20 minutes. Work faster. And wow. So here is our first half lap of the day. So you can see here, this part is going to sit right up underneath the rafter. This runs up the side of the rafter, and then this actually meets the roof. So I'll show you again. We just did that right there. It's actually this stud, just like that, okay? That's what we just made. That was pretty cool. So I actually did that joint first. Now we're gonna cut it away. 114 3/4. Okay? From right there. That's the spot. Okay, now we need to measure 114 3/4 along here. We just need to cut the butt off square. It's easy. 114 3/4. And cut that. Yeah. You did 114 3/4 from the long point. So it's from the long point, but it's not from the long point where it touches the roof. It's the long point where it touches the bottom of the rafter. Oh yeah. That feels good to be cutting wood. We're gonna be back at the sawmill soon. I got a really fun bit of work coming up. We're gonna cut some really big spruce trees and build them up into I think it's a 4 by 12s, 4 by 10s, I think. That's gonna be a lot of milling on the mobile dimension mill. So that'll happen on this channel too. All this timber was cut on that same mobile dimension mill. And those videos are part of this channel. Cool. Now let's go ahead and see if it fits, eh? So you can kind of see how fun it is to build these cabins out of these like husky timbers. It's really different than stud framing. It's fun. Wow. Pretty good. It's really good. It's got maybe just a little bit of a gap where it meets the actual ceiling. And you can, on these ones I left exactly that same thing. It's like about 1/4 of an inch. It fits perfectly. Let me get you a zoomed in look here. Really, that looks great. So that really fits well. So we'll go ahead and put the fasteners in the top. We'll make another one for this side. And then we'll put the cross pieces in, and that'll be the window frame itself. That'll be really cool. Then we'll add 2 more studs on the sides, and that wall will be ready for tug and groove. Thanks for coming with me here today. That was fun. It's going well. That really fits nicely. God dang, you did a great job on that, guy. The girls, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So first thing is find my impact. Right. There it is. Fell off. It's sitting in the mud. Great. Okay. Like the rest of the A cabin, the fastening method is very simple and very strong and very awesome. So these are, best way to show you here. These are timber lock screws. They're really awesome. I mean, if you want to build anything, you know, you really can't go wrong. You can pre-drill for them, or you can fasten anything together with these. They're really a nice product. So the top of those, get 2 for the timber locks from the outside. I'll go ahead and put those in right now. Timber lock fasteners are off. Wow, it really fits well. Very nice. So here I'm going to show you the fastening method for the bottom of these studs. Again, we're using these timber lock screws. This is really cool because you end up with some of these extra long ones from other parts of the project, and they are perfect for fastening these studs down. So make sure the stud's perfectly on the line. So that it's level and your window is going to fit. And then we're going to fasten this all the way from underneath it, straight through this timber. So one of the fasteners goes all the way through the timber into the stud, and the other one goes through the tongue and groove flooring into the stud. And these will be pre-drilled, so you just kind of want to carefully try to line it up, and then the screw will naturally pull on the hole. That's it. So you never want to over tighten these screws and like sink them into the wood a bunch, because they will strip the threads out of the timber. So you always want to like pre-drill and get everything really nicely countersunk, and then just till they're snug, and you really got a good job fastening. So this screw is shorter, and it just goes through the tongue and groove decking. It looks like it's going to go about 3 or 4 inches into the stud here. So you come underneath, find your stud, and that's it. That is just 2 giant timber locks into the bottom of that. One of them going all the way through this floor joist. Just an incredibly strong connection for this part of the A-frame. Really nice. Oh, that is awesome. What a wonderful way to frame, you know, everything with these big husky chunks of wood. And that is just really a cool joint. So let's go ahead. I'll do this other one real quick here, and we'll go ahead and get this wall up. Okay. So, it's just so fun painting these big husky pieces of wood. Look. Find my line at the bottom. Ah. Wow. That one's even better. Nice. So that one's actually tight everywhere, even at the very top. Wow. Okay, cool. Awesome. So these would normally be called king studs, I guess. So here's the two king studs, and I'm gonna put the window right here, set it over my head. So let's go back that one in place. Got it. Make sure I get all the mud off my face for YouTube. How do I look? Oh, pretty good. Wow, I didn't hurt myself at all, but I stepped on this wet log and I just basically went like face first on the mud puddle. Oh, man. Great. Okay. Now we're gonna make the pieces that go across the top and bottom of our window here behind me. So in a gable end, like this, the roof is supported out here and out here, and by the truss, or in this case by the A-frame or by your rafters, there's no weight on it. So we don't need big headers and supports under the headers in this case, because there's no weight on the wall. The wall, it just fills in that space. So it needs to be strong, okay? Which it is. It's way overly strong, but there's no weight on top of it. None. And then the fact that you also got tongue and groove board going all the way across top of all the headers means that you basically don't need headers. So this will seem like a little bit simple of a window frame to some people, but it's more than adequate for this. I mean, more than adequate. So check this out. We got a 3-foot window. Water come up. So we did 3'6". It'll come up to 6'6". Okay. Down. That's 42 inches up. Let's double check one more time. We're at 3'6". And yep, exactly. Take those seconds. Wait, no. Guys, do the same thing over here. Okay. Rough side out. So these are surfaced on 3 sides. What that means is that after I sawmilled it, this is a tree. I cut this tree down, I milled it, and I dried it, and I'm planting 3 sides of it, just like for these raptor stock here. So that means you got one side that's out, that's rough, so you can save yourself a pass with the planer. You know, all that stuff does cost money. Every time all these raptors go through the planer, it takes like 2 hours, hour and a half. So that's one way to save some money when you're working with your own roughs on timber, is to just plane the sides that you need to see the beams. So if this was like a floor joist like this for the lot, which it actually will be, the rough side will be up, and this will be covered in tongue groove, and this will be finished smooth down here. Let's go ahead and stick this in. Perfect. Well, this is how it's really nice to have stuff fit where it's snug enough that it'll stay in place without asking it, but not too tight, because then you're down and you're getting it in there. So the same thing here, the window sill and the piece we'll call the window header. This gets fastened with these long timber locks right into the end grain. Some of these joints seem a little simple, but those timber lock screws are so strong that it is just an awesome joint. That's awesome. So, I have a lot of experience with these timber lock screws, years and years of it, and we build our scaffolds with these. We built giant wooden scaffolds to work at houses, and we found these the most reliable fastener. So we reuse them on the scaffolds. They basically never strip, but once in a while, when you're taking a scaffold down and you try to bend 2 corners apart, you'll bend one of these. But once they're bent, they'll strip their holes out. You can't take them out; they'll just spin or spin the head out. We've never been able to shear one off. We've sat there at big bars and cranked on them and bent on them and cranked on them and bent on them, and we've yet to see one shear off. It'll actually tear the head all the way through the timber. So, in this kind of circumstance, well, it's basically just a 1/4-inch steel pin going way into the end of that end grain, and the shear strength right there, like, in order for this windowsill to go down, and for this screw to bend or break, is just ridiculous. It's not going to happen. I mean, it's not. The whole end of the wood is going to split and break before that can happen. It's really a strong fastener. You got a sawmill. You want to build stuff yourself. I'm strongly suggesting these screws. Awesome. So, I mean, I've framed a lot of stud frame houses, and I'm telling you, it's like this is just, even without the sheeting, it's just not going anywhere. It doesn't even wiggle. Awesome. So, I'm going to go ahead and make the same piece again for the top of our window here. And I'll show you a close-up with the camera of just how this looks. Pretty straightforward. We'll add 2 more sleds on either side. That wall is framed. Thank you so much for coming with me here today. We're going all the way to the end of the A-frame cabin build. So we're going to put a wood stove in here. We're going to put bunks in here. We're going to put a little couple cabinets and a little counter in here and just finish this thing 100% for these clients who have been so patient with us this season. It's really going to look good all the way done. So if you'd like to see this whole cabin build all the way to the finish, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons below. You can also go to YouTube, search for Second Growth Homes. You can find our channel that way, and then you can search for the A cabin, and you can find the playlist with all these videos where we started with just forest, trees, logs, and we started with raw land, covered in trees, and this is where we're at today. We're going all the way. Thanks for watching. See how this fits here. Super nice. Another one. This looks great. Beautiful. Okay. Well, let's get those fastened in place, and that completes the framing of this gable end wall here behind me. I'm going to be doing the tongue and groove on this wall tomorrow morning, and we got that sitting here on the floor. It's really going to be fun. So that's how you frame these gable end walls. You got 2 to do. It's really straightforward. In the kit, the pieces will all be numbered, so they just go together. And if you're doing it for yourself, you just need to lay out your windows or doors, whatever you got going on, lay out where your studs are, run those level boards up, pay close attention to what side your studs are going to be on, take your angles, take your measurements, cut your cases, fasten them in place. That's how you frame a gable end. Thanks for watching. Good morning. My name is Sterling Connolly Chu. My company is Second Growth Homes. Behind me is the 16 by 20 A cabin. This is a simple A-frame cabin built out of timbers and tongue and groove, no plywood. And we've been building this cabin complete here as part of a video series on our YouTube channel. I'll link the whole playlist below. So we actually started with just live trees, and we felled the trees, limbed the trees, milled the trees, dried the lumber, planed the lumber, and cleared this whole timber. We cleared this whole site of timber, and we've been building this beautiful A cabin you see here behind me. Previous video, we finished the wall framing. So we installed the frame, these 3x6 Sitka spruce framing into this end of the A cabin. Today, we're going to sheet this wall with tongue and groove.